Level 1. Imagine building a company worth billions of dollars. Thousands of employees trust your vision. Millions of customers rely on your technology every single day. Everything seems perfect until one tiny decision. One ordinary Monday morning, a payment worth exactly $1 appeared inside the company's system. No alarms, no missing money, no obvious signs of danger. Just $1. Everyone believed it was harmless. Just another technical error. But 6 months later, that tiny transaction would become the most expensive warning the company had ever ignored. 6 months ago, one Monday morning, everything seemed completely normal at Nexora. Then, Emma noticed a tiny payment of exactly $1 entering the system. No accounts were hacked. No money was missing. Emma immediately prepared an emergency cybersecurity report. She warned that this tiny payment could be the beginning of a much larger attack. The report was sent directly to CEO Daniel Cross. Daniel read it for only a few seconds, then marked it not urgent. Days turned into weeks, and business continued as usual. The attackers studied the system without stealing a single dollar. They learned how payments moved across the network every day. Slowly, they collected valuable security information without being detected. At exactly 9 a.m., payment systems suddenly stopped working. Banks, hospitals, airlines, and online businesses were thrown into chaos. News channels reported the growing chaos, while investors rushed to sell their shares. Nexora's market value dropped by billions in a single day. Customers canceled major contracts, and employees feared for their future. As the company fell apart, Daniel returned to his office. He quietly opened his desk drawer and found Emma's forgotten security report. Looking at the words, "not urgent," he finally understood his mistake. The $1 transaction had never been about money. It had been a warning. Daniel accepted responsibility for what had happened. Soon after, he stepped down as CEO, knowing one ignored decision had changed everything. Before leaving the company, he shared one final lesson with his team. Never ignore a small warning. Sometimes the smallest signal can prevent the biggest disaster. Daniel's resignation marked the end of an era. But the story didn't end there. Level 2. Over the following months, business schools and technology conferences began discussing Nexora's collapse as an important lesson in leadership and cybersecurity. Emma's report became an example of why every warning deserves attention, no matter how small it seems. Daniel spent the following years speaking with young entrepreneurs and future business leaders. Instead of talking only about success, he shared the importance of listening, asking questions, and taking small concerns seriously. He didn't lose his company because of a billion-dollar mistake. He lost it because he ignored a $1 warning. He stood up, looked at the sunrise, and walked away. The company was gone, but the lesson remained. Remember, this is a completely fictional story. Lesson. Sometimes, the most expensive mistake costs only $1. The rest is history.